DJ, you a look position. Foolish DJ, you a look position. Foolish DJ, you a look position. And up say DJ, bang, but you get me cup it. And up say DJ, bang, but you get me cup it. And up say DJ, bang, but you get me cup it. And up say DJ, bang, but you get me cup it. And up say DJ, bang, but you get me cup it. And up say DJ, bang, but you get me cup it. And up say DJ, bang, but you get me cup it.
All right, let's go, because you know what I came in to do.
I don't get paid for overtime. I'm here to fight.
Hey, yo, my name is Conor Ben. I got my ranking back. Kell Brook talking shit. I ain't having that. I can fight him handicap, hands behind the back. When he leaves the ring, he'll need his cabbage patch. Hey, yo, my name is Kell Brook. What does this ped cheat mean? They caught him with eggs, aubergines, and chlorphamine in his bloodstream. He needs to piss for a urinal. When his B test come back, he'll be crying to his dad, Nigel. Whoo! Conor Ben returns to number 7 spot on WBC welterweight rankings. So this consolidates his comeback. The board have asked the other commissions around the world not to sanction his fights, but when he has a world ranking, that's just not going to happen. He can fight in Vegas, New York. It's as simple as that. Saudi Arabia, he's good to go. It's just now a case of who's he going to fight. Manny, Kell Brook. Yeah, he's still on the geriatric circuit, but I ain't got a problem with it right now. He's been out the ring a long time. A lot of people want to protect Pacquiao. Don't let Pacquiao get beat up by Conor. Manny wants to fight. What's the matter with you people? Want to stop people from doing what they're doing? Protect boxers. Manny wants to fight. He's calling for the fight. Manny's a warrior, a gladiator. He came up eating food from out a trash can. Right now, he's in the black. Everything he does now is in the black, not in the red. Everything is a plus and a bonus for Manny. It's not just money. He needs to be on the big stage. That's what boxers need. He's fiending for the big stage. He wants to knock off Conor Ben. Let him go. When's the last time Manny was knocked out? It was around 2013 by Marquez. Manny tough as old boots, bruh. Doesn't need our mollycoddling or anything like that. If he can't pass brain scans and medicals, fair enough. Yes, cancel the bout immediately. If I sound a bit crazy, I'm a bit groggy. I've been drinking a lot of green tea, so it is what it is. How do we know that Manny doesn't need the money? Just like when you go out to work every morning, you need the money, right? To pay your bills, mortgage, rent, you need the money. How do you know Manny doesn't need the money? Are you going to go around and supplement his lifestyle of what he's accustomed to? No, let the man go and work. He's a poor boy from the Philippines. He's used to working for what he gets. What's the matter with you people? I'm being actually serious now.
Hold up, he gonna get this work.
Now, Conor is a bit of a miserable git. You know what I mean? Like the kid, I'm glad he's back, but he's a bit of a miserable git. He's probably going to complain about Mauricio Sullivan ranking him at number 7 when he was previously ranked at number 5, but it is what it is, Conor. You can't have everything, can you? You know, I'm not tech savvy. People say, how are you not tech savvy? You produce beats and stuff like that. Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean? I can do a bit, but when my mates start going into equipment and technology and stuff like that, I am so like catching up to them all the time. Right? The question is how is someone in their early 30s or approaching 30, like Joshua BUATSI, so tech-phobic? Like Frank Smith said in the interview, everybody is on smartphones, smart TVs, and apps, young people. So who was he talking to who said they couldn't process his fight with Craig Richards? 90-year-olds? No disrespect to any 90-year-olds either. Look, we've heard it all before, you know, like the other day, Lou DiBella was saying no one watches Dazn. Who's going to see your fight with Pascal and the other guys fighting? How many people are going to watch that? Regardless if you're on a traditional platform of television or what it is. You know, the Charlos, remember Dazn, and Wilder said Dazn is trash, and then he ended up turning down a $120 million deal on it. You know, Mayweather said we don't stream fights here. We do pay-per-view. Then he ended up fighting on Dazn. Then the other week he ended up fighting on some obscure streaming service in the UK that flopped dismally. Then Joshua BUATSI started knocking the app yesterday. And, I mean, you spoke so much shit about Dazn yesterday. And then Frank Smith announces today that Dazn is on a Sky channel now. Will be on a Sky channel the next day. And if anyone is saying, oh, they only did that to counter what BUATSI said, no, they've been working on it a long time, right? We just didn't know about it. And BUATSI, he certainly didn't know anything about it. He certainly didn't. I don't know why boxers just stick to what you're doing. That don't just mean you're just a boxer. Like, you get an endorsement deal, you study the product, and you become an asset to the product, and therefore you can be a long-term ambassador of the brand. Fair enough. Sportswear, sports gear, supplements, sports drinks, etc. Cool. But when you start talking about the limitations of the technology of apps and you're out your depth. You don't know what's going on. He's going to fight in May on his debut for Boxer on Sky against a to-be-announced when he had a world title shot lined up against Dimitri Bivol on the same platform, Sky.
Dazn is the most accessible platform there is. You know, it's available on all platforms. And actually, as of today, it's available on Sky Sports platform.
Existing Dazn subscribers won't automatically have access to Dazn 1 HD on their Skybox. To get the best live sport experience, we recommend you continue watching via the Dazn app on your TV. See our full list of supported devices. It will be an extra add-on to your Sky package, but you have the option. And it looks like they're in a bit of a dilemma with that. Because if you get it on Sky, it's going to be $19.99 a month. Whereas you have different deals if you get the app. On Android, for instance, you know, you can get the £99 a year annual and the monthly deal as well. And that works out to $8.99 or whatever it is a month. So it looks like they're going to have to find a way to appease everybody. I'm talking about the people who bought it, though. Not you people who complain about it and have never bought it and have no intention of buying it. I'm not talking about you. Look, if you can't get it on Sky, you can still get it on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, Chromecast, Smart TVs, Samsung, LG and Sony, Android and iOS smartphones, and more, and more. And look, you know what's the good thing about this? Is pubs, wine bars, and other establishments now in the hospitality industry will have access to the Dazn sporting events for their customers. So now they'll be able to compete with BT and Sky for that market. That's a huge market that a lot of people have complained about, and I spoke about it on the Hangout. You've heard me speak about that. People have complained that we can't access it in pubs and whatever other areas in the hospitality industry. That problem's eliminated now. So for instance, Joshua versus Jermaine Franklin, it's not pay-per-view. But if you're a pub and you can hook that up, I mean, I don't think your customers are going to walk out the door. They might buy a couple more pints and stay for a couple of hours or so more. Now, if they could hook up a Virgin Media channel as well, I believe this is a move designed to get the pubs and the hospitality industry on board more than the customers, really. That's what I believe. I know a lot of the customers are salty, but that's what I believe this move was intended for. You see, I don't know if you can still get the annual package deal on the app. I don't know if you can still get that. I've got that already. But if I had Sky, I wouldn't get it on Sky. I would just get a package deal and watch it on Android or on my PC or on my laptop or something. Because it will be $8.99 a month rather than $19.99 a month. AJ, he said the launch of Dazn 1 HD on channel 429 will make it even easier for fans to access my return to the ring on Saturday the 1st of April against Jermaine Franklin. Make sure you tune in for a spectacular night of boxing. We will! People are talking about the Dazn numbers are no good, the app's no good. None of the numbers are no good. America or the UK, app or subscription-based television on satellite cable. When's the last time you see anybody do Barry McGuigan numbers like what he did against Eusebio Pedrosa at Loftus Road? No, 19 million. Or Ben versus Eubank 2 at Old Trafford. 18 million. Yeah, that's viewing. That's what you call real viewing. And that's when boxing was just like crazy in this country. The boxers and promoters of today, they can become wealthy. Yes, they can. But they can't grow the sport like they were doing in the 80s and 90s with them viewing figures on terrestrial television. You know, I've had to do one of my infamous last-minute edits. So existing Sky customers who have the app would have been unable to access Dazn on Sky when it kicks off in 6 days' time. But Dazn are saying they underestimated how many of their existing customers would want access to the new linear channel, Dazn 1 HD, on channel 429 on Sky. They say they have listened and their technical team is working hard to find a solution that will give those of you with Sky boxes access to Dazn 1 HD. They are confident that a solution will be in place before programming begins on the 23rd of March. Please be patient with us in the meantime. I want to big up Danny on Twitter for that. I just browsed through the article quickly, Broner hooking up with Don King, and the bottom bit of the article, Adrian is ready and excited to show his championship skills once again for the delight of the great boxing fans, and this proud promoter drops the gauntlet to all the other promoters and challengers, them to bring forth their best fighters to meet and fight the superstar bad boy of boxing, Adrian Broner, Bob Arum, Frank Warren, Al Heyman and Eddie Hearn, and any other promoter of a hot commodity champion. We welcome them all. So basically, Don is telling us he doesn't have anyone in his stable for Broner to fight. Everything has to be outsourced. He doesn't have a network. So if Broner can't get none of them promoters fighters in the ring, a lot of the fights are going to end up on the fight website. That's where they're going to end up. That's where Don's put on a lot of his recent cards. And the fight website, let's keep it real, is the Koch records of platforms. No fighter who thinks they're worth anything wants to go on the fight website. It's an odd pairing. Legendary promoter, popular fighter. Not so popular now, both past their prime. Seems more like a partnership than promoter-boxer relationship. Broner don't want to knock on Bob Arum or Eddie Hearns' door and ask them for anything. He'd rather Don do all the legwork while he focuses on preparing for fights. But how much mileage in 2023 does Don have with Eddie, Frank and Bob Arum? Do any of them really want to deal with him? They might have some fights for Adrian, but perhaps not want to deal with Don. Maybe because of his reputation, or maybe because he's just a third wheel. They're thinking, well, we can get you a fight, but what's Don going to be doing? We'll promote it. We're going to broadcast it and promote it. What's Don going to be doing? Perhaps a desperation move from Broner, but I don't know the in and outs of the partnership. I don't know. The Black Prime deal, October last year, seemed to be too good to be true, even for Terence Crawford. But Bob Arum confirmed it through his links with Avanesian, or was it Frank's links with Avanesian, that, yeah, they were good for the money, and Terence got $10 million for the Avanesian defense. And Broner signed an 8-figure deal for 3 fights. You know, Lundy, he pulled out, Redcatch, and Williams, and the partnership or the deal was dissolved without him even fighting on BLK Prime. I don't see the other major networks offering that kind of money that BLK Prime put up. I don't see them offering up that type of money for a Broner fight. And, you know, the whole thing is a little bizarre, you know, seeing them together, counting money. Don trying to sell Adrian, who wants to fight the bad boy of boxing? You know, like, what is this? Bootleg Mayweather shit? Adrian's too old to do the bad boy promotion. You know, he's too old for that now. That's Tank Davis's lane, I guess, now. 2 years inactive, and when was the last time he beat a top 10 ranked opponent? A legit top 10 ranked opponent. It's been a while. In America, for some reason, they hold on to the ghost of Broner like, yeah, he can still be as popular as he was when he was fighting the likes of Malinagi and DeMarco at lightweight. But that ship sailed a long time ago, in all truth. The only future Broner has in boxing is to be a gatekeeper. And it's probably hard for Adrian to accept that. He still looks at himself as a potential champion. And look, his destiny is in his hands, not mine, because he's going in the ring. One way this pairing could work is if Don still has juice with one of the sanctioning bodies, say at WBC. And if Broner can get a couple of wins, he might be able to get a ranking and then get a couple of fights. But apart from that, I'm kind of like, whew, we'll have to see how it plays out. It could be entertaining, just watching how it plays out. WBC ordered Artur Beterbiev to face Callum Smith. The WBC have officially ordered this fight. Smith, #1 ranked by the WBC since he turned over Mateo Bordelic on the undercard of Usyk versus Joshua 2 last year. His lottery numbers have come up and he gets his title shot and a chance to become a champion at 2 weights. An agreement must be reached before April the 11th before it goes to the purse bid. Bob and Frank are on better terms than Bob and Eddie. Bob done a deal with Frank, and Yard's fight against Beterbiev was in the UK. This one would probably go to Canada or America. It is a stadium fight in the UK, in Liverpool though. That's if Anfield is available. I'm not saying it will fill the stadium out, but it'll do huge numbers. Callum is extremely popular out there. The response so far, from what I've seen, is Beterbiev is going to walk through him in a couple of minutes. It's not even going to be competitive. I beg to differ. I knew Yard would make it a competitive fight. I said that from the jump. Everyone knows that. And I'm suggesting the same thing here. And I'm actually suggesting that Callum can go one better and bring that title back to Liverpool. I think the timing's right. He had his experience against Canelo and it didn't go well. His reign at 168 wasn't very memorable apart from the George Groves victory in the Super Series. But at 175, I don't normally critique coaches. People know that. I don't normally put it all on the coach. And I'm not going to put it all on Joe Gallagher. But I can see a marked difference. And it's not even so much the technique. It's the mentality since he's been with Buddy McGirt. Something's been unleashed in Callum. And providing he doesn't freeze, he's going to do very well in this fight. Or he could get chinned himself too, because he's up against somebody who's had, 18, 19 fights, won all of them, and all inside the distance. Yeah, of course he can get chinned. It's a dangerous fight. But Callum isn't feather-fisted himself. I could be a bit biased. I've always been a fan of Callum's. He's always been one of my favourite British fighters for a long time. So I could be a bit biased. I could be. But Buddy McGirt ain't just going to let him go out there and let Beterbiev take the initiative on everything. He's not going to let that happen. The Canelo fight is the best thing that could happen to him. You're not going to get a better lesson than that. And once he doesn't freeze, and that was all important for Anthony Yard, yeah? No freezing. No, oh, he's Eastern European and he's superior to me. None of that. None of that shit there. And Callum is a shot. I like Callum in this fight. I do.
Foolish DJ, you are look position. Foolish DJ, you are look position. Foolish DJ, you are look position. And up say DJ,